oops, I apologize about my dogs. Familial Alzheimer's disease, when someone has that, it typically happens at an early age, usually late 20s, early 30s, and there's a pattern to it. So if mom started experiencing symptoms at the age of 29, the son, if he had this deterministic gene, he would also experience it at that age. So very rare. And most of us, so we're really looking at risk genes. And this is why the Alzheimer's Association does not really endorse many of these genetic tests, because those genetic tests look at risk genes. But like I said, it does not necessarily guarantee that you will develop the disease. We also know that there are different populations that are at higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease or another dementia. The Hispanic population is 1.5 times more likely than the white population to develop Alzheimer's. African Americans are twice as likely compared to the white population to develop the disease. And women account for 2/3 of Americans living with the disease. So this disease is really impacting our community at higher rates. And there are key reasons why there are these differences in racial and ethnic differences when it comes to prevalence. And research has really narrowed it down to these 3 topics: medical conditions, socioeconomic risk factors, and life experiences. So when it comes to medical conditions, there are high numbers of the Hispanic population who have cardiovascular disease, like high blood pressure, et cetera, and diabetes. And that really increases our risk of developing the disease in combination with those other factors that we talked about. Socioeconomic risk factors, looking at education levels, poverty, and discrimination. In life experiences, structural racism that is experienced by minority populations in the United States, access to healthy foods, access to adequate education, access to jobs, free time. And why I share this with you is to really talk about, focus on those medical conditions, healthy living for the brain and body. The Alzheimer's Association is trying to raise a lot of awareness about how we can reduce all of our risk by making lifestyle changes. And we have a class specifically targeted at looking at healthy living for your brain and body. And now that we understand what is Alzheimer's disease and what is dementia, I briefly wanted to share some information on what to look for. When should we be concerned? The Alzheimer's Association developed a list of 10 warning signs that can be used as a tool to differentiate normal aging versus when we should be concerned or these warning signs of Alzheimer's. We're not going to be able to read all of them, but number 1 is the most common one: memory loss that disrupts daily life. So short-term memory loss, where we are not able to recall recently learned information. Number 2, challenges in planning or solving problems. For example, if mom or dad have handled our finances the entire time and now they're struggling to pay their bills, that's a common sign that for number 2. Number 3, difficulty completing familiar tasks like using the remote control or the microwave. Number 4, confusion with time or place. For example, forgetting doctor's appointments. Number 5, trouble understanding visual images and spatial relationships. Maybe you notice that you or someone else that you know is having trouble driving, or it's having more accidents. Number 6, new problems with words in speaking or writing. Number 7, misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace steps. So forgetting my keys, maybe I put them in the refrigerator or I tucked them somewhere where I typically wouldn't put it and I can't find it again. Number 8, decreased or poor judgment. For example, falling victim to phone scams. Number 9, withdrawal from work or social activities. And then number 10, changes in mood and personality. So it's possible that we may experience one or more of these signs in varying degrees, and we don't necessarily have to experience all of these signs in order for us to be concerned about ourselves or someone else that we know. And so if we do notice these signs in ourselves or someone else, it's really important to see a doctor, and that visit with your primary care physician can be a great first step in getting more support. And so why is this so important? Why is an early diagnosis so important? Number one, it's often overlooked in our community. People don't have that information or often overlook these changes that we're experiencing. And an early diagnosis can really give you access to treatment options. There are medications that can help you live independently that are often targeted at the early stages of the disease. Number 2, opportunity to participate in clinical trials. St. Louis is a hub for Alzheimer's research. There's lots of opportunities to participate in local and non-local clinical trials. Number 3, opportunity to prioritize our health. Now that we know that we have this disease, what can we do about it? How can we continue to engage our brain, live healthy lives? And lastly, more time to plan for the future. So I wanted to share some information about the Alzheimer's Association and what we do. The Alzheimer's Association is the largest nonprofit organization that provides services to families impacted by the disease or who are concerned about this disease. Our mission is to lead the way to end Alzheimer's and all dementia by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, maximizing care and support. And our vision is a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. Some key resources that we have available to families here locally are our 24/7 helpline. Our 24/7 helpline is a great first point of contact for anybody who is concerned about their health or someone else that they know. When you call this number, 1-800-272-3900, the first person that answers will be able to help you learn more about the disease. Maybe you want to know what education programs or support groups coming up. They'll be able to connect you with that. If you are a caregiver and you're dealing with a really challenging behavior at 3 a.m, you can call us and we'll be able to walk you through that and maybe give you some caregiving strategies. The 24/7 helpline is available in over 200 languages, and there are bilingual staff that are able to provide the service in Spanish, English, and any other language. ALZ.org is our main website, and it has a wealth of information in multiple language to help you understand the disease, what to do if you're seeing these warning signs. How can you take care of your brain? We also offer care consultations through the 24/7 helpline and locally. Care consultations are a really important resource for families. These are scheduled appointments with our social workers, and we're really there to learn about what are you going through, what are your concerns, and how. And during this consultation, we'll provide you with information, education, resources, and help you come up with an action plan to help manage those needs. And so at the end of this care consultation, you leave with an action plan. This is not a one and done service because we know that families' needs change. In 6 months, someone that I've seen, today, in 6 months, that need is going to be completely different potentially. So we want them to come back and say, hey, I really need another conversation with a social worker. And this is a service that's provided in many languages as well. We also have a respite services. We have a small grant that helps families pay for respite services like in-home care, adult daycare, or care products. So typically caregivers pay for these services and we reimburse them. It is distributed on a first come, first served basis, and there are limited slots. So unfortunately, right now we do have a wait list for St. Louis County and St. Louis City. But if any of your families that you serve, or anybody that needs this help, connect them with us. We'll add them to the wait list, and once we have those funds available, we'll connect them. We'll get them enrolled. And then we also do have education programs and support groups as well that are not listed here. So how to join the fight? There are many ways that for you to get involved out in the community. And really, our ask is we want to be able to provide education programs and information out in the community, especially to our community where there are often misconceptions. So please have us come out and do a presentation with you. We have worked with Casa de Salud to put Spanish programs out there. We've hosted a couple of programs with them. We do have volunteers who deliver these programs and support groups. So if you have time or know anybody who is interested in the cause, we're looking for bilingual volunteers. Trial Match. So Trial Match is like a dating service for clinical trials where you go in, put in your information, and you get a list of clinical trials that you are eligible for. And this is not necessarily just for people who have the disease, but also for people who have normal cognition and aren't experiencing any changes. And we are working closely with the Knight Alzheimer's Disease and Research Center here in St. Louis to increase research participation by minority communities in the African-American population, the Hispanic population, LGBTQ population, because these are often underrepresented in clinical trials and research. And then lastly, our Walk to End Alzheimer's. This is our largest event to raise awareness and funds for the cause. Our next walk is in St. Louis, will be on October 23rd this year, and you can participate in person or you can participate in your neighborhood and just walk around your neighborhood. So that is the website, alz.org/walk. But that is my brief presentation for you guys today, and I'm definitely open to any questions at this point.
Okay, well, thank you, Ben. That was a very informative presentation, brief, and it's kind of like a teaser, right? I want to know more now. I want to know more about, like I said earlier, my mother-in-law is at home with full-fledged dementia. One of the early consequences of her dementia was a fall that she had, which broke her hip, which ended up becoming more severe as time went on. And now she doesn't walk, she's bedridden. So it's very important that when you recognize the onset of Alzheimer's, the onset of dementia, that you look towards support groups and organizations like the Alzheimer's Association. We were also very fortunate to have a representative that was with came to a lot of the Hispanic group meetings in the chamber and the HLG and Casa de Salud. And she guided us to getting some counseling as how to deal with Rosa's dementia, and a little bit of what we can look forward to with her behavior. And they were also instrumental in getting us some respite, because it takes a toll to take care of your loved one that has Alzheimer's dementia. It really takes a toll on the caretaker. So I'm very grateful for the Alzheimer's Association. And Ben, thank you again for being part of our speaker series thing tonight for our member. Ben is a member of the HLG, and this is one of the reasons we wanted to spotlight him. So I'm going to go back to the chat to ask questions to see if I can read this question. Let's see, Sergio Munoz, recording. So a lot of people are just acknowledging that they're here. And one of the first questions at 6:13 was Alejandro Santiago to everyone, that when Ben asked about the whether the question about yes or no on the Alzheimer's dementia, Alejandro Santiago said that he would say no with question marks. So Ben, your first question that you asked the entire group, can you repeat that question and then clarify what a good answer is for that?
Yeah. So the statement read, Alzheimer's is a normal part of aging. And so it was a true or false question. And so that was actually false. Alzheimer's is not a normal part of aging. It is a brain disease that impacts some individuals, and it causes someone to have changes in memory, thinking, and behavior. So it is not a normal part of aging. And oftentimes in our community, or even in the general population, we say, oh, they're just getting old, they're having memory changes. Well, if they're having memory changes, that could potentially be a warning sign, and that individual should potentially talk with their primary care physician.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. There were a few people that were right on board. We have a lot of very smart people on this call. Essie said, no, not normal part of aging process. Gabriela also said no. I said no with a question mark because I wasn't 100% sure, even though I'm doing dementia caretaking. Alejandro, dementia is a history in my family, so this is good to know. Alejandra, is it more common among women because women live longer?
Yeah,
Stop
that is
killing
correct.
your men.
Yeah, so just general population trend, women live longer than men. And so age is the biggest risk factor when it comes to Alzheimer's disease and all other dementia. So that is why they account for 2/3 of Americans living with the disease.
Yes, and then is paranoid thinking a sign as well?
Yeah, so changes in personality, having delusions, false thoughts can be a warning sign. So if you're seeing that in someone, definitely get them to the doctor.
Yeah, and that was Yvonne Bollinger was asking that question. I'm sorry, I should have clarified that before I said the question. Now, I had a question. You mentioned something about talking with healthcare providers. So were you talking about people that take care of their parents or people that are hired by an agency that go to your house to take care of them? And you talk to them about how to deal with people with dementia?
Yeah, so that was specifically talking about our care consultation services, I believe. So these are our social workers that are providing information and support to families. So that is provided virtually right now over the phone. I believe I also mentioned that when I was talking about the respite grant that we provide, where families can hire someone to come into the home, whether that's through a private company that provides private duty caregiving, or if a caregiver that is caring for a person with dementia at home hires a neighbor and they pay the neighbor, our respite grant is also able to reimburse them for that.
Yeah, and then Yvonne asked the question, is there a fee for social worker consultation?
All of our services are free.
Okay, thank you. Susan Gobo asked, great presentation. Thank you, Ben. Oh, that was a that was a statement, not a question, sorry. And then Esmeralda Ajaron said, are there any cases where COVID-19 accelerated the risk and or triggered Alzheimer's and dementia or dementia?
Yeah, and so I don't know exact figures on how it accelerated the disease, but just speaking from experience and the conversations that I've had with families and that our social workers had with families, the isolation and lack of activity, um, we've experienced so many more challenging behaviors that are presented in people with the disease, or they're declining in being able to do things that they were able to do prior to the pandemic. So we have seen this general trend of decline as a result of isolation. And this was a huge topic of conversations as well in nursing homes. Um,
Mhm.
and in terms of deaths, in 2020, this is a fact in our facts and figures. In Missouri, I believe we saw over 1,000 more deaths in 2020, um, which was a 20% increase from other years, which was associated with COVID.
Well, thank you, Ben. Well, if there isn't any more questions, I thank you, Ben, for your presentation, and we look forward to a future with great collaboration with you.
Thank you, Tony.
All right. So next, we have a young lady that has always kind of been in our community, but kind of worked behind the scenes a lot. And St. Louis Junto co-founder Lourdes Trevino Baillon. And she co-founded an organization that came together in an effort to fill a language gap when the COVID-19 global pandemic began to hit our neighbors. Executive Director Lourdes manages, operates websites, social media platforms for the organization, as well programs that STO Junto supports. Their mission is to help share resources and verify health information available in the St. Louis area to anyone who needs them, and focus on sharing information in Spanish to give those that would otherwise not be able to access what is available due to a language barrier, equal opportunities, and effort to help create safer communities for all. I know that Lourdes has shared some of her concerns with the St. Louis County and even with state concerns. And we do have, thanks to some of the work that she has done in coalition with other leaders, St. Louis County has Spanish language access, and so does now the state of Missouri. So without further ado, Lourdes Baillon. Gobo, can you hand over the controls? Do you have it already, Lourdes?
She is already a co-host, so she can share
Okay.
the screen right now.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, HLG, for inviting us to be here to share our information and what we do. We are so grateful for you to do that. Hopefully, my slideshow was done really, really quickly, my presentation, and I apologize for that, and I hope all the links work. I'm gonna go and share a link to the presentation, which I shared earlier. And I want to share it because in the presentation, I have a lot of links that I'm not going to go into because it's just too much. And so I don't want to have to, take too much time. I know I have a little bit of time, so I apologize. I'm not as prepared as Ben. So we will get started. So I'm going to share my screen. I did share that iCloud link. And let me see. Are you can't see my screen yet, can you? Okay, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to stop my video for a second while I do this. It'll just be easier for everybody. So once again, thank you so much for having us. As Tony mentioned, most of our information that we have on our platforms is in Spanish. We encourage you anyone to visit the website and to even the English speakers to try to find the English version. There's always a way to find the English version. So please feel free to go in there and look at it and look at the information, because we always have the English links to them. Our mission is to help share resources available in our area to anyone who needs them, as Tony had said, but we focus on sharing the information in Spanish in effort to give those that would otherwise not be able to access the information due to language barrier the same opportunities as everyone else. We hope that everybody gets the chance to go through our website, and the link is on that link that I sent. You'll find the link to the website, and also the Facebook page. We do a lot of things through Facebook. So there you'll find a link to the Quienes Somos, and that will give you information about our volunteers, the partnerships and collaborations that we've done. It's just going to give you a little bit more of an insight. One of the things that we have done throughout the year, and I'm going to kind of go over the year, which was kind of overwhelming to me, to be honest, when I went through it and started looking at everything we've done. But since we have launched, we managed to accomplish a partnership with the Washington University medical students and medical infectious disease staff. In the links, you'll be able to find the information about them and our partnerships, the things we have done with them. There's a video outreach that we've done on COVID-19 prevention and awareness at a time that it was most crucial, interviewing Spanish doctors and professionals and sharing our information on the platforms. We've done mental health awareness as well with Dr. Julia Lopez, which we started doing since last year. We were doing a bi-weekly live and Zoom meetings to do talks about mental health, using the platform to give our community the opportunity to ask questions or talk about what they were facing during these troubling times. We also have videos with a consulado from Mexico, and in there you'll find the link to it. And this was also an effort to give awareness to information that was coming to us and how we were being affected as a community. Census was also in one of our outreach programs. We did a lot of census information as well. You'll also see a video where we did an outreach to the community, given that this was a very important year with census count. We wanted everybody to get counted as well. So we put our little grain of salt in there. We showcased organizations in collaboration with organizations that offered resources to the community by inviting them to do a Zoom live on our platforms in an effort to give them the opportunity to share their information, and so our community could also know about what they were offering at the time. In one of our videos here, you'll see where Afinia was one of our showcased organizations that we had way at the beginning. In collaboration with the Washington University students and doctors, we also designed graphics and flyers for the community. Again, during troubling times, we needed to get the information out there. A lot of information was not translated and not in Spanish, so we had to translate a lot of information to get it out there. So this is why we had to create our own flyers and information, always making sure that it was information that was verified and accurate information that we were giving to our community, which is why we had the collaboration and the partnership with the medical students and Washington University doctors. The other big thing that we did was a food outreach that we started last year in 2020, summer of 2020. We partnered with Leticia Sides, Latinos en Acción and radio show and her radio show, as well as other organizations and local businesses. They helped us build a bridge and initiate our food distribution in its early stages the summer of 2020. This program was a USDA funded program. The distribution continued over 12 months. And in the highest peak, we were giving away 2,600 kits weekly. That's over 36,000 meals that were distributed weekly, on a weekly basis. We could not have done this without our many volunteers. STO Juntos has a collection of volunteers, which has been amazing. We have over 60 volunteers with STO Juntos and the Army National Guard, who were there by our sides on a weekly basis. In this link, you'll be able to see a video that was done by one of our summer interns from Lindenwood University. She created a little highlights of the 2020 summer. If you would like to go in there and look at that, it's a pretty neat video that she worked on. We also did a collaboration with the county way at the beginning last year when the pandemic started hitting our communities. We created a short video making sure that the findings that were found in disparities in the Hispanic community were announced, and the mask mandate was instated, and that everybody understood and knew what was going on. We were invited by Sam Page to their press conference to be part of this, and at the end of the conference, we did this short live video to help our community understand and know what was going on. We also, at the time, launched the mask campaign, #YoCubroSTL. This was launched to encourage our community to send pictures and share their pictures on social media using the hashtags YoCubroSTL. If you go to that link, it'll take you to the to the website where it has the some pictures that were shared with us. We were also featured in the PSA that was created by the St. Louis County Office of Sam Page videographer, along with other leaders in the community, to help bring awareness to the mask mandate and its importance to help everybody stay safe in our local area. With this mandate being in place in the information that was coming, there was a mask giveaway, and to this day we have given away more than 65,000 masks. Thanks to our partners, the St. Louis City, the St. Louis County Health Departments, Prepare STL, ISPN, and HLG. And you can see the little link will take you to our Facebook, where we have information about the HLG and what the giveaway that we did. We also created a student pledge, and this pledge was an effort to encourage the young generation to wear masks, as we were mandated at this point to wear masks. We did 4 giveaways of $50 each for students to join. If you click on the link, it'll take you to the website where they were signing up. And this is one of our recipients of the $50. We did a book giveaway. We had 700 bilingual books donated by a local author and publishing company. These books were all distributed during our distributions that we had weekly. We also had 15 cases of antibacterial wipes and 48 cases of baby wipes that were given to us by Artec and Whitney Company for our community. And we also gave this away. We had a partnership with St. Louis City Health Department and the STL Diaper Bank that helped us give away diapers and feminine products. We did what we called spreading cheer. So what we did is we had one of our volunteers who happened to go to Trader Joe's, and they found out what she was doing and where she was going, and they gave them a whole bunch of flowers. And so we were able to do a giveaway, a flower giveaway to our families that were coming into do our distribution. Our volunteers were able to get flowers, and just spreading a little cheer. Everybody was really happy to, just something nice to get during our distributions. We also had Alma de Mexico perform at a couple of our distributions, which was very, very, a lot of fun. It brought some joy to the families that were coming through. Alma de Mexico is featured, and if you go to the link, you will be able to see where they were performing at our distribution, and part of our distribution. With that, we went to our holiday campaign. Our holiday campaign included a 5K run. This was kicked off in November for the Dia de los Muertos fundraiser that we had. We also partnered with the Missouri History Museum, business and organizations that collaborated to help create an interactive map to invite people to visit altars at the Dia de los Muertos event for 2020. We had a Thanksgiving giveaway in 2020 where we gave over 400 turkeys dinners to families, and as we partnered with ARJ, Calle Cherokee, Save a Lot, Powell Law Firm, and Artec Whitney, who helped us pull this off. We had a Christmas giveaway, thanks to Kyle at local radio. We were able to provide 200 families with holiday gift meals, gift cards, and gifts. We had Kyle Garcia at local radio and Nourish Communities who helped us give those away. And you can go to all these links where it will take you to see what we did. We also had the Dia de los Reyes 2020, thanks to Powell Law Firm, who were able to donate 300 stockings so we could give away at our distributions. Stockings were filled with candies and toys, and we were able to give that to our children as well. The next big thing that we have, and have had, is vaccine events. We have done over 10 vaccine events. We have done Carpenters Union Convention Center, Cherokee Street. In these events, we partnered with Casa de Salud, St. Francis, and St. Louis Health Department. We've also done drive-throughs thanks to our partnership with the Naval National Guard. Our partnerships have allowed us to assist in the community outreach and help facilitate vaccine access, not only through mass vaccinations, but also in neighborhoods to help us reach our communities where they were at. We continue to do work with the local health departments and communities to reach those that have yet to be vaccinated and assist with those who already do. So, but have not found or who want to get vaccinated but don't have a way to get it, or are trying to figure out a way to get their vaccinations. For language access, we continue to do our part by serving our Spanish-speaking community by pushing for language access in our biweekly meetings with the state and the county committees, by assisting and giving them a voice in communication and outreach engagement strategy meetings. It has been an amazing year to have been able to accomplish so much, given that Estilo Juntos we're all just volunteers, and Estilo Juntos does not have any paid employees. But we couldn't have done this without the support of many of you, many of those who have stuck with us and been by our side since March of 2020. thanks to the tools available to online and organizations getting on board and realize that reaching the non-English speaking community is crucial and just as important for everyone's well-being, especially in a time as we face now. What we do has been facilitated. We continue to share our resources and information by either translating or simply sharing what it is already in Spanish so that our community continue to move forward and no one be left behind. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come and share my information. And I'm open for questions if anybody has any questions. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. And we're all muted.
I'm sorry, guys. Hey, thank you, Lourdes. Thank you so much. That was a heck of a presentation. I know you did a lot of stuff, but I didn't know you did 10 times that. And that is so awesome. You know, as our community grows in terms of population and numbers, we're gonna see organizations pop up. We're gonna see groups of clubs pop up. We're gonna see a lot of people and new leaders. And I tell you what, I am so proud of our Hispanic organization in St. Louis that they really, not only do they talk the talk, but they walk the walk. And you're a great example of what's happening in leadership with the younger crowd in St. Louis. So I really am very grateful that you're taking your time and your heart into the work that you do. You and Graviela are powerhouses in this community. So thank you so much. I was trying to see, Alejandra Johnson says, great work, STL Juntos. And then Sal Valadez said, thanks, Lourdes Baillon and Graviela Ramirez Arellano for your vision and dedication in creating STL Junto. And then another comment here was from Relatina. Congrats, Lourdes. We need people like you helping the community, talking about helping. Right now, we are promoting help for new Afghan refugees in STL. So let's see what it is. I missed. I'm sorry, I went ahead a little bit. I think Cecilia Velasquez was kind of getting to let you know that there is for Ben to text to a certain number, and for you for the great work that you have done. And they're promoting help for the new Afghan refugee in STL. La Fundación Islámica Bautauman has helped thousands of refugees, and there's a link in the chat, folks, for you guys to copy or to get to. And Ben Molina says, amazing work at STL Juntos. Yvonne, thank you, Juntos STL, for your dynamic work and partnership with so many organizations and volunteers. You know, speaking of volunteers, I always say to a lot of the other leaders, I cannot fathom being in a city like St. Louis without volunteers that give their time, treasure, and talent to it, because there is so much work that you can't pay somebody to do, actually. And the people with the heart and soul do it. So without volunteers, I can't see how this community will move forward with these human issues, right? A lot of times it's all about human issues. Is worrying about people that can't care for themselves, is worrying about people that are going to fall through the safety net. You know, I just can't imagine a society functioning without a good core of volunteers. This organization, Relatina, this organization looking for help for the Afghan. Here's the link. Sorry, I have to leave. That was Sergio Ben Molina. I have to He put down his contact information. By the way, if you want to network with people on this Zoom, by all means, put your email on the chat so people can get to know you and get to work with you. Let's see, Susan Goble, congrats. Hispanic. Okay, so now we're going beyond our time, but it's always happens when you have some great guests on the Zoom. And like always, I say that if somebody wants to hang out and talk a little bit more after the official meeting is over, feel free to do so. But can I get something I learned from another group whenever we want to acknowledge our speakers? We all give the hand wave. You know, you can't hear me. Everybody's wave for the people that did all the speaking. That's kind of like a form of acknowledging them. Let's acknowledge the people, Ben and Lourdes, for a great work. And I want to wish them very, very well. And I see some prominent leaders on this call tonight. And feel free to reach out to Lourdes and to Ben for more information. I want to say something. I'm not going to divulge because a lot of people ask me, you know, about the Premio Esperanza. The Premio Esperanza, save the date, folks, is October 8th. That's a Friday night. It'll be at the Missouri Athletic Club, and we're going to go live. Everyone that attends, we're asking that they already be vaccinated for the sake and safety of the people that are there. We're asking that you're already vaccinated. So there is a press release that's going to be sent out with the person that won. I'm not going to divulge that information tonight, but I do want you to save the date, October 8th. At the Missouri History Museum. You will be getting invitations. You will be getting an opportunity to send a congratulatory ad in the program book, or if some of you that are departments, heads of different organizations, an opportunity to sponsor. We already sold out the platinum sponsorship to the St. Louis Community College, but we have a couple of golds and silver and bronze levels. There'll be, just to give you a little bit more information, the MC is going to be Justine Coronel, who is a reporter for Channel 5, KDSK, KD8. I'm sorry, I get that mixed up with the radio call letters, but Channel 5, she will be the MC for that. We're going to have a live band like we usually do, but this time we asked them to stick around and play some dance music so we can celebrate coming back together and dealing with the new normal. And of course, everybody should be vaccinated, so it'll be safe to dance. It'll be safe to sit at the dinner table. The tables are going to be 10 seats per table. And we ask that you try to get a crowd together and occupy the table with people that you trust. So more information is coming on that, but the most important thing is to save the date for that event. All right. If anybody has anything to add right now. Okay, well, nobody having anything said, I have to close the meeting. We went beyond by 10 minutes. So thanks again to our speakers and to the rest of the membership. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, save the date, October 8th. Bye-bye. Stay safe, wear your mask, get vaccinated.